Hi, Thursday, August 18th, 2016. Maneko64 here, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. I'd like to talk about a financial tsunami that's coming. And I can't tell you when it's going to happen, but it will definitely happen. And if you're exposed to the financial markets through investments, if you carry a lot of debt and you live beyond your means, you should be worried about this, in my opinion. And why am I calling it a tsunami? Well, because I think financial markets and human behavior mimics nature. And if you look at the tsunami back in 2004, in the Banda Aceh tsunami, or the Indian Ocean tsunami, that started out because of an underwater earthquake that led to the tsunami. And there's some raw footage of this tsunami on YouTube, and the video is above in the cards under the eye on this video. And I've watched this before. I think there's a documentary about the tsunami, but I've just taken this 4-minute or so video. And the interesting thing about it is that someone was filming a beach in Thailand. They had fishing boats, anchored just off the beach, and all of a sudden the tide just went out. Excuse me, just went out so quickly that the boats were like beached, and the beach became huge. The water went out, and most people, all the people there, you can hear a bit of comments, they didn't know what was going on, and they stayed on the beach. Some went, just went back into the water swimming, and I wouldn't have known what that was as well if I was there. I would have definitely thought there's something very unusual going on here. And I think that's what most people said. You can hear from the comments, what's going on, what's that, and everything looked fine. The water went out, the sun was still shining, the water wasn't that rough. And then all of a sudden, these big waves started coming, and people still didn't know what it was. And they're still going back into the water, thinking everything was fine. And then these waves just kept coming, and it just like washed everyone away. There's even a scene, a part of this video where this guy is actually swimming onto the wave. And that reminds me of, my analogy is that this is like people who are buying, into the stock market. They're buying government bonds right now. And why do I say it's a financial tsunami? Well, and by the way, I think people have had more time to prepare for this than the poor people in Thailand had, with the tsunami there in 2004. In my opinion, the earthquake, or financial earthquake, happened in 2008. And so we've had time to prepare for this. Of course, I don't know when it's going to happen. I did make a video about October 2nd. That could be a trigger. We don't know. These things are difficult to predict. We can just try to, forecast what might happen, not when it might happen. So yeah, the financial earthquake, in my opinion, was the crisis, the great financial crisis of '08 that almost brought down the system. That was an earthquake. And, the powers that be, they've gone onto the beach and told everyone, oh, don't worry, nothing's going to happen. Everything's fine. They've got their boats, their ships, and they're going along the beach and saying, no, you can stay on the beach. It's fine. And, the stock market's doing well. We've recovered well. The Dow's at all-time highs, so and so. The dollar is strong. Gold is below its all-time high. Everything's fine. So people are still swimming and thinking that everything's fine. But people who know about the financial system and the monetary system, they're giving warning signs. People like me, people like Lord Rothschild, who came out in his interim annual report for his RIT Capital Partners Trust or fund. He came out and said, that he's never seen this extreme kind of monetary policy ever in the history of the world, and that he's putting some money from his funds into precious metals, 8%, which I would say to Lord Rothschild, he might need to up that a bit. I think this tsunami could be devastating. You've got people like Bill Gross, the bond fund manager. He said he thinks it's a supernova, the bond market. You've got Stan Druckenmiller, who made very good returns for his clients over the years as a hedge fund manager. You've got Carl Icahn, all kinds of people trying to warn people, this is not normal. The fact that 30% of government debt in the developed world is yielding negative interest rates, that's something that's never been seen. That's like the tide, going out very quickly before the tsunami. That's in my opinion, that's the, flashing a really warning sign. But people don't look at the bond markets, and I understand that. The average person, all they look at is the Dow, or the FTSE in the UK. So yeah, watch the video, this raw footage of the tsunami in 2004, and it's pretty sad to see what happened. But those people had no idea, what was happening and what was coming. We had heard of tsunamis before 2004, but people who had never really experienced tsunamis, they never knew what it was. So that's my view here. We are in front of a financial economic tsunami, and it's going to wipe out a lot of people. Maybe not physically, like in the tsunami, unfortunately, but financially it will, and it could physically, because people could lose everything. So my advice is just to common sense, live within your means. If you're going to put money in the stock market or other financial assets, make sure you're prepared to lose it all. Pay off as much debt as possible, because, believe it or not, people might say, oh, all the debts will be written off. They won't. The bankers will come back and make sure that the debts will be, reinstated in some kind of fashion. They never kind of lose, the bankers. So yeah, run for the hills then, not literally, of course, but yeah, be prepared. Negative yields, bond price bubble, foreign exchange volatility we're seeing, the currency wars. They're all symptoms of something not right in the system. And even Lord Rothschild, Jacob Rothschild, who's the consummate insider, he's warning people, his investors at least, of the fact he doesn't know either. He just telling them that it's not normal, and he's concerned about it. Central bank monetary policy is just never been seen before. You could say it's extreme. So there you go. If you enjoy my analysis, please like, share, and subscribe this video. You can also donate to my channel if you'd like. I've got a few links below. You can pay in Bitcoin, PayPal, or Patreon. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.